you know, they've been better. Let's go through the map ban phase, find out where we're going to play.
I was hoping to see Theme Park again. I liked the way EG played it versus Reciprocity. So no surprise, DarkZero didn't like seeing that. So that was their very first ban to make sure they didn't have to play it again. Consulate, actually, a good map for both these teams. Both of them played it once in the first half and won that match. So
I was about to say, this is the only map that Evil Geniuses has won on in the last few months. So they got, ladies and gentlemen, they got their map. But also, I mean, it's a good map for DZ too. So keep that in mind.
I think the fact that EG had a good showing on Theme Park helped them get a map that they like, though, because that forced DZ to ban it and get that out of the way immediately. But that also shows DZ probably don't have a good Theme Park right now if they're banning it that aggressively. So, you know, good to know for other teams that they might be able to take advantage of DZ needing to ban that as a crutch. But no surprise to see DZ favored here despite not winning in the second half. We know they're a very good team.
Yeah, the expectation is still that DZ will take this, but then again, we've had our expectations tested today. SSG came very close to losing to their opponents, United, in just the match prior. But we've got our community vote done. We know what you guys think, and I think there's a general consensus on this one for sure. We've got our map ready. It'll be Consulate, which has been, well, again, the only map EG has won on in the last few months or so. And a decent map for DZ. So as soon as we got everything ready, we'll actually just kind of load on into the match. We'll have Evil Geniuses starting on defense and DarkZero starting on attack.
Well, it's good to see the lighting's been fixed as well in Consulate, so that will definitely help things look a little brighter for EG. I believe it was patched on Monday.
Oh, cool.
So I think that's taken care of now. I haven't gone through and checked them all. I'm no electrician, so.
Nomad the first ban out, and I'm guessing Capital. Capital is the most likely ban here. On Consulate, you kind of got to get rid of him. But,
would make the most sense.
Could be Thatcher too. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Well, there's that.
That means Capital will be in play. He'll likely be played a lot of these rounds. Echo will certainly be banned. We know that much. So it's either Echo Mira, Echo Valkyrie, Echo Maestro. It'll be Echo Valkyrie, probably. Assuming. I mean, this could be a Maestro ban. When we look at the state of the meta and a Thatcher ban, it could very easily be a Maestro ban here. No, but they'll stick to their guns on the Echo. All right. Ban phase done.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, the Echo ban. The Thatcher ban, though, is... I don't know if you really get a ton of mileage out of it necessarily. I mean, it depends on how you're planning to run your strats gadget-wise. But it's like for Garage, for example, it hasn't been a huge deal for teams. And obviously, you know, they are going to go Garage first for their defense. But
for the attack, actually, Thatcher, the reason why I'd say they're going to ban that Thatcher is because that you can use Thatcher to great effect on other sites other than the basement. Like if you're going to the top floor, what you can do is you can EMP on the roof and you can get a lot of gadgets from above. If you bring an IQ, you can target your EMPs as well. So IQ and Thatcher just run around on the roof for 20-30 seconds, throw their EMPs and get like just a bunch of gadgets. And so I think, yeah, the Thatcher ban makes a lot of sense. And especially considering what we're seeing here from the setup from Evil Geniuses. I mean, look at their operator selection. It's Noah Mai, Jaeger, Mira Castle Goyo with a mute thrown in for anti-information. I mean, this screams we want to slow you down from Evil Geniuses.
It also means a lot of line of sight control because it means they block lines of sight, but also use ones that they can use only.
They're also Evil Geniuses are also going to be roaming upstairs, it seems, as they put some castle barricades up there. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty obvious strategy here for EG on the layer defense and the delayed sort of setup.
On the upside for DZ, though, with the Kali and Thermite in play here and no denial other than the mute, assuming they know that, they should be able to get that garage open very quickly.
If that's their focus. It looks like it is. And yeah, they're already on the garage. Should be able to get it open soon. There goes Mint. He's going for it. And yeah, here's the Kali to make sure it will get open.
Didn't have to fire a shot.
Yeah, didn't have to do anything. Double exothermic on the wall. To get double detonation here soon. There it is. So the wall is now fully open. I can't quite see it, but I think it is. I heard both the explosions. There you go.
There we go.
left one panel in the middle. That's interesting. Not a lot of holes from above right now. You do have Modiga roaming above, but no holes for him to use, so he'll have to make his own holes. But he's got the tools to do that, so.
It looks like they're going to ignore the top floor roam. This is a strategy we've seen some teams do when there's a heavy roam upstairs, is just straight up ignore it and force them to rotate down and try and cut them off on the rotates. It works sometimes, especially with the Callie in play here. They should be able to lock down some of these site players, in theory. Although it'd be helpful if he could actually hit something.
Yeah, it's really hard to hit shots with that sniper, to be honest. Again, it's the change of the zoom factor. It's not a 2.5 like the ACOG. It's a little bit more zoom, and because of that, your sensitivity is different while you're ADSing, and it's very uncomfortable to use. Now, because it's the only scope of its kind. Anyway, yeah, Tac just lingering outside of the garage, waiting for a pick to happen.
Cover your ears. Make your turn.
Well,
Here comes
they just need to do something this year. I mean, they're wasting a lot of time doing this. If they could just find a pick or two, there we go. Sky's finding one, but Young trades it.
It's another trade back and forth here. DZ getting on top of it. Clips from the yellow stairs gets Necrox, who gets a little too aggressive. The push from Black Car might be caught here by Houghton, but C4 will miss. Down goes Min. That's Diffuser on the floor. Modiga with an aggressive play, but he gets shut down by Houghton. And there's the rotation from Young. Over by Lockers, it's the defense taking the win there as well. So a 1v2 for Eclipse. They'll have to get the Diffuser and win 2 gunfights. Not going to be an easy task. Got this little bit of cover he can work around. 3 fires, misses the shots. Over by Pipes, he sees the Jaeger. The drop and prone from Young will do some damage. Nice shot from Eclipse, and the follow-up is not landed. Young hits his, and Evil Geniuses will take the round. A beautiful job there, but we will need a rehost. So, first round going to EG, but we're going to have to bring it back to us for probably, I'd say, about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's funny, too, to see another trade go in favor of Young at the end of a round, but this time it was actually the right answer, as the defenders did win that round. So,
yeah.
Nicely done, though, and in terms of them getting just one more kill to make it a 2v1. That's really what gave them the advantage there, because it was trade central. Just back and forth, because they were both just jockeying to get the most garage control they could have. Especially with the yellow stairs in play, and just one more kill. That's all it took to have an advantage to be able to win that on a trade at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we see team fights come down to a lot these days, especially in this current meta, where you'll have all 5 alive on both teams, and then collapse, and the chaos ensues, and it comes down to that 1 or 2 kills that happened that didn't get a response. And that's. Since we've got some time, we may as well take a sidetrack here to a completely unrelated topic. But that's what I think is going to be really interesting about Yana if she ever finds herself in Pro League play. I mean, we know she'll be unlocked at some point, but I'm talking about if she actually gets played, if she gets adopted. You have to make a sacrifice to bring Yana in terms of utility on the attacking side. And right now, I can't see that happening. But who knows? When she's unlocked, maybe it'll be different. But imagine going into a team fight, and the first shots from the defense are baited out by Yana. That means that instead of having to refrag your Yana, if it were any other operator, you're just getting a kill, and your Yana disappears. The decoy is no longer in play. I mean, I think that could be interesting. I know we're taking, again, a little bit of a sidetrack there, but we've got a little bit of time, so.
Yeah, and I can definitely see that. You also have to keep in mind that if the hologram isn't killed, it recharges faster. So just using it as a drone, even in uncontested areas, will still be really helpful, because then you could drone pretty fast, just sprinting on in essentially with your drone. You'll get a different line of sight than you will with the drone. The drone's down at the floor. This will be more at head height. That might not make a difference in most scenarios, but there are downsides as well. Like wooden barricades will suddenly be a lot more important, as will mute jammers in those scenarios where it is being brought, just because those are things drones can get around that you will not be able to get around with that. So, because you have to trade off for another attacker, like you said, I don't think it's going to be brought all the time, but I do think it will definitely make an impact.
I think that it could make it. Yeah, it's all going to come down to the bomb site and the setup that the enemy team is bringing. In that last round, I don't think you could swap in a Yana for anybody, because there was. I mean, I guess you didn't need the Kali, but that you can't make that judgment call. You can't just be like, oh yeah, we don't need to deal with Bandit batteries or Kayet Electro Claws, because you don't know until you've loaded into the round. There is a reveal phase, sure, but it's not going to tell you enough to just take that confident play and commit to that operator. But anyway, this is just theory crafting. You know, we're not there yet. We're not in a position where Yana is actually playable in Pro League. So, and whenever we see new operators introduced to this level of play, there's always something new that happens with them. But
yeah, we are seeing Kali played a little bit. I mean, Wamai is getting played a lot, but we are seeing Kali getting played across the different regions. Each region's played it at least once. And now that they don't have to attack Garage, they probably won't play it again till Garage comes around again. But it is interesting to see more so the thought process of which sites, which maps is it getting brought? What's it being used for? Like, for example, Cafe Kitchen Attack, we see being brought for. We see it brought for Garage here when Thatcher's banned. With Thatcher being banned so often, I do think that's really kind of forcing more Cali play. But, if Thatcher wasn't being banned, if someone was being banned instead, I don't think we'd see a ton of it.
It just depends on the bomb site, depends on the map. Like, sometimes instead of a Thatcher, you're going to bring a Maverick. But, like, if you're trying to open up the Garage on Consulate, that's really dangerous. Anyway, we've got everybody in the lobby. So now we just need to verify all the settings. We need to make sure we're all ready. And then we should be able to get back into the match, unless there's some further delay that we don't know about. But
yeah, just make sure everyone's good.
Yeah, we got to make sure it's all good before we load in, because, I mean, how many times have we had a rehost and then we get everyone in the lobby and we start it back up again and the settings are incorrect, like the sides are wrong or something, or the round count's wrong, and then we have to like rehost it again. It happens. It's happened too many times over the years.
Yeah, it does beat the old days though of you remember when we had to just paste the numbers over the top of the screen and just fake it, Just basically pull the match down as soon as it technically should be finished.
What we can do now, for those of you who don't know, is in a custom match, we can input the rounds and the sites that the rounds were won on for each team. And so we have an exact replica of the last match, minus like the kills and deaths and all that. But as Devin was pointing out there, it used to be the case that you couldn't input any of those results. So what you would do is you just put a number over the score, and you have to just update the number. Those were the days, Devin, huh? That was so long ago.
Yeah, there was a lot of rehosts back then too, especially on the Xbox side. So that was always interesting. But we are back in hopefully here now that we've it started up on our side.
We're loading into the match, but we need to verify the settings are all correct before we actually like switch you guys over, just to make sure that we don't have to do a rehost. Looks like production's giving it the go ahead, so we'll jump on in. Here we go. Round number 1 to Evil Geniuses. We'll go to Tellers for round number 2.
Archives Tellers, always fun to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different bomb site, but I mean, it's not a crazy thing. I will say that Evil Geniuses, when they managed to win it, they did not go to Archives Tellers, so this is a new thing for them in the last couple of months or so, and Pro League play and all that.
I do think it gets played a little bit more when Mira's available, because of the way you see Young setting up down there in Dark Hallway. Like, being able to play the window right there helps secure Archives a lot. Being able to have those lines of sight, you can have the Mira playing downstairs and then have C4 to be able to throw up, when the inevitable Tellers attack happens. Yeah,
you've got 2 horizontal entry points to servers. You've got the Lockers Hallway, and you've got Harry Potter. And the push from the Locker Hallway is much safer, generally speaking, but if you can get a flank from Harry Potter, come around into the utility hallway and like come up behind the bomb site, then it's really strong as an attack. But that's where that mirror window comes into play. It can be so powerful in just stopping that take of the bottom floor. But I agree with you, yeah.
The other thing you gotta worry about though is there are 3 hatches essentially with direct access to the site down there.
Well, 2. If you count the room, yeah. I mean, if you want to go that...
I'm counting the little electrical closet.
Yeah, if we're counting that room, then you may as well count the one in the hallway too, so call it 4. You've got a lot of access vertically, which means that locking up those horizontal lanes is even more important.
We'll see them go for an admin take to start with. A little bit slow here for a take on a, admin that's not really being contested. There's, roamer upstairs here in meeting projector.
The point is kind of slow. Open wall, and that's going to cut off the rotation for the Maestro. He'll have to go through the drop down, which could be dangerous if the front door is open.
Funny to see Hot and Cold go from playing Cali to a different DMR and still just kind of playing that same sort of role.
Yeah, but he's going to probably be more lethal with that DMR on Dokubi.
Oh, yeah.
As it's, obviously got a higher fire rate, and it's more forgiving. The setup is interesting for Evil Geniuses castle-wise over by Tellers. Probably because they're not playing much in the Tellers. They're mostly playing around it.
Well, this is a little bit slow going. They really need to find a pick here. With Spades and MVK both taking damage, no one being able to finish a kill. I do like this long angle though. The Hyper's holding. It's interesting. He almost finds a kill. There we go. Never mind. Gets Spades.
Beautiful kill there from Hyper, and yeah, I agree with you. That was good awareness, good coverage. DZ has really good control above. They've been slow on the attack, yeah, but their control is really impressive. Eclipse needs to be careful with those Ash charges. He'll probably need them for the Evil Eyes, which are always such an important force on this site. Here comes the drop from Skies. Nobody in VSET's been droned out. Nobody in Tellers as well. Cotton and Mo trade with each other. And so EG still a man down. NVK working his way through long desk. He could flank this actually and get some serious damage into DZ's flanks, but it's not going to happen. Necrox pushing up the stairs will be felled by Hyper. It's just Young and MVK now. MVK's position is known. I'm not sure why he's crouching. He gave his position away when he went into a fight with Hyper. He will lose Young as well. So now MVK needs to clutch up, and it's Tellers, but it's actually a server take here for DZ and a server plant as well. It'll be a post plant now for NVK. And well, he's got to pick one of those drops you were talking about earlier, Devin. But he has almost no hope of winning this.
Yeah, he might as well go prone just to make his dead body land a little smoother.
Yeah, so a lot of people do that though. When they drop through those drop downs, they go prone to try and make it work a little bit better. Sometimes you can mask the sound. Like if you stack up enough animations and you stack up enough sound cues, then prone is one of the longest animations and the loudest sound cues, then you can kind of mask the drop sound. That's how it used to work with canceling drop sounds. They made it so you always do make sound, but I'm pretty sure you can still muffle it. Like if you prone crouch right as you're going down, you can muffle it.
I'll be honest, I actually liked when they had the prone drop where basically it delayed the sound until you got up from the prone.
You like
I thought that was kind of fun. I liked it just because dropping generally kind of sucks in this game. Like you drop into so many areas and you make such a loud sound that you're already unable to do much at mid-fall, that you're kind of really, really vulnerable. So I liked the idea that there was some stealth element to it, but that you at some point you had to make sound. So you either traded off making sound or moving slowly. And I don't know, I thought that was kind of an interesting stealth mechanic in a way. I can understand people not liking it because it sucks to get suddenly sprung on. But I don't know. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I'm a little nostalgic for it. We're getting being a bug.
We're getting a little sidetracked, but I do want to build on this further. Right now, the way that I think it works, and I've actually not really experimented with this, so like I'm not going to call myself an authority on the subject. But from my experience, what can be done these days is it's not the same as it used to be. You can't full silent and you can't delay silent. But what you can do is you can muffle it. And I'm pretty sure the way that it works is, you know when you can crouch spam and then you start to prone and it's like you're falling when there's no gravity or something like that. Like you just, or like really, really light gravity, you kind of glide to the floor. You know what I'm talking about, Devin?
Yeah.
You spam crouch and then that delays your prone animation. If you do that and then while you're dropping, you're in the middle of that delay, then yeah, it gets muffled. So it's not the same as it used to be, but it could still do it kinda. I don't know why I'm explaining this. Anyway, the attack is into admin office, and it's the same, pretty much the same one that DZ employed the last time they were attacking, but different site.
Yep. Once we get the admin control, I'm sure we'll see some lines of sight being opened up and hopefully a little bit more speed after that, but overall, this is a bit slow taken. There are a lot of players upstairs. We also saw an interesting mirror window downstairs of the bathroom. There was the usual one, I believe, facing into piano, but another one facing into the sort of hallway between the two on a soft wall, which can be useful for being able to fight from inside bathroom, a little bit more advantageous, rather than just trying to hold 90-degree angles on the doorway. Fortunately, a lot of drones hitting the spectator bug here, so I'm not necessarily seeing what they see.
Yeah, so just to be clear, I don't know that those are actually like within Utes radius. It might just be, as you said, a bug. But that's, that's normal. We're used to that. Now, Guys is setting up for nades. Those will clear out the players inside a meeting, but he has to find out exactly where those players are, and he has to have somebody with stuns come over and clear the ADSs. Remember that this is just above the site. It isn't the site itself, and because of that, the player who was in meeting, I believe it was Necrox, was allowed to fall back. He fell back because he was worried about getting naded from above. DZ has shifted their focus entirely. They're all going downstairs now. Sky is going to linger on the Visa staircase, throw a nade towards Connector, hit the Goyo shield, and, well, he actually somehow manages to avoid that AS. Looks like the line of sight was blocked by the desk. Necrox probably could have lingered a little bit longer there, maybe. But it doesn't matter because DZ's not trying to take meeting right now.
The nice thing is all those Goyo shields are forcing a lot of utility burn upstairs, which will give them some advantage downstairs in trying to stay alive, especially in that bathroom. Hot finds Young with the gun, and that works just fine to help take a C4 off the board as well. Fortunately, a missed kill onto Modiga, though. But hey, plant time.
Yep. Here comes that defused plant, but it's been stopped. It was a fake out to try and bait a retake from Evil Geniuses. It did not work. Mint will go for another one. He'll probably stick this one, and looks like he's going to be able to get it. NVK gets Skies, but it doesn't matter. In the post plant now, this is going to be very difficult for DZ to lose. But they get on low HP. Necrox as well. No engagements just yet. Mint, though, in a crossfire, really weird position, and he gets Spades, who somehow did not know about Mint's location. MVK trades back, but it's now DZ taking full control. Finally, Mint has been downed after planting the fuser and getting a kill. But Necrox has to find 2 more after this, and then get down to disable that diffuser. He actually physically does not have time to do this. He'll die on the drop. DarkZero will take the round, and, oh, beautiful isolation of the main lobby in execution for the plant.
Yeah, they really shouldn't have been able to get a plant down with that much control still left for Evil Geniuses. And baiting out the retake was a good idea in terms of, okay, let's make them move towards us now. That way we can try to get some shots off and then go for the real plant, you know, now that we've controlled things a little bit better. But it did get a little tight towards the end. However, huge ban advantage, just a lot of kills coming down DZ's way, you know, around that plant going down. But good on Mint getting the plant down and getting a kill out of that. Like you said, good isolation. That's really the key part there is they had enough control to be able to play around the plant and then just force the players at EG into them. We'll see an interesting 6th pick there from Hot and Cold, who's not going to go with the DMR this time. NBK as well, going from a Vigil to a Jaeger. It's not going to be a huge surprise. I mean, maybe you'll make them think they can throw more grenades, but I don't know. They'll find out pretty fast that Jaeger's in play. So I don't know if that's really going to do much for you, other than if it was just calling an audible and changing up who he wanted to play.
Well, I mean, we'll see what actually can do here. We haven't had Evil Geniuses win a round since the last time they defended basement. So thus far, this has been EG's best bomb site. No Collie being brought by DZ, like you said. I believe you remarked on that.
And I do think that DZ anticipated Garage because you see Mint switch from Habana to Thermite.
Yeah, so it, I guess, was like they were aware of it, but then the lack of a Collie will make this very different. They're gonna have to clear upstairs. Actually, they're not. I mean, there's only
I think they might have just naded the mute jammer last time.
Yeah, they're probably just gonna just nade it or do something similar. I mean, they would have to clear upstairs if EG would bring a Kaid or a Bandit. Either one of them. Then it would make it so, yeah, you've got to go upstairs in this situation, but oh, not the case. And I think DZ decided not to bring the Collie because it really wasn't that useful last time.
No.
It wasn't necessary.
Here you go. See if that's enough to clear it out. Let Mint do his job.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to go off. Yep, really easy garage open there. Now, it didn't need to be that easy, but it was. With a Thatcher ban, that could have been much more difficult. So it makes you kind of wonder is, why are you banning Thatcher? If you're not going to try to stop the wall from getting open when defending basement. And I understand. It's because you want to protect your ADSs so that you can protect your Goyo shields, your castles, your mute jammers, and all that, you know, like Thatcher EMPs claw through a lot of that stuff. I get it. But I just... To
be fair, it was more use ban on Thatcher, so I think maybe just EG didn't have their strats prepared for that Thatcher ban.
Okay, yeah, I guess we have it wrong at the top of the screen because we have it listed as
it's possible I wrote it down wrong as well, but...
Yeah, well, whatever the case. Whatever the case.
Ban, so.
Whatever the case be, you're looking at a situation where you could get more use out of it. Now that's, I believe, clearing out ADS. Hyper got it with the first one, and the second stun was unsuccessful. Well, it didn't do anything. Necrox will get Hyper as he attempts to push in through the garage panel. This is a very aggressive play here from DZ. They don't need to spring into action right now. They've got plenty of time, but they're going to go for a plant right now. They'll fake out that plant. They're not actually going to stick it. They had the control, but they fell back. Eclipse will get Modiga as he attempts to retake his site. Mint tries to challenge, but loses his fight. DZ pushing on in still, but they're on a significant disadvantage at this point.
Reload.
Guys above, trying his best to open up and get some kills. He'll get the player at pipes. That's huge. That means that Eclipse can do more work from yellow, but he'll rotate away from yellow after the pipes player's been dealt with. That's interesting. There's obviously a lot of angles that you have to address when you're pushing down yellow, but the pipes one is the most difficult one for sure. If Skies had been here earlier, then this could be a very different round. Spades will eat some damage there. There's only a few seconds left in the round for these last two players to make this work. It's not going to be an easy one, that's for sure. Skies did his best to disable both of the mirror windows, but he was only partially successful. And he'll die as he attempts to push down, I believe, yellow stairs. Possibly through a vertical hole.
10 seconds to go.
No option but to push here for Eclipse. Trying to fake out. He will get one down.
5 seconds left.
Player on yellow stairs. One by pipes. He's the one by pipes. Lands the shots, but no down. MVK's still up and Spades is still on yellow. Evil Geniuses will take that round off of good patience.
Really well done from EG to be able to hold that as long as they were, because when you leave the garage to get open that early and you're playing all those Goyo shields, you're just making it that much easier for those Goyo shields to be dealt with without burning a ton of time, because they had tons of time to work with. Especially if they're not focused on clearing the rest of the map. So really DZ should be doing a better job with their actual take, because they're setting up for it. They're clearing utility. They should be prepared, but it just seems like they're really kind of stalling out. Maybe they do need to spend some more time clearing the map and focusing on a top down on top of it, or even maybe just go for a cafeteria push, flank, like maybe open up, use one thermite to open up the garage, and then just use another one on the hatch. If there's, if you need one on Visa, if you need thermite for it, and just push from behind.
By the way, I need to correct myself. I earlier in the match said that Evil Geniuses don't go to Teller's Archives very much, or they hadn't prior to this match. I was wrong about that. I was actually looking at the wrong statistics board. So yeah, this is actually one of their more played sites, interestingly. They've only played it one time, I believe, in the last little while, so that's pinch of salt on the stats there. It's not really going to mean very much, but it is, I guess, worth noting.
We'll see how they do a second time on it.
Yeah, it wasn't the best the last time they went here, just because DZ read it really well. They went for the downstairs take. They realized that here's what it usually means if Tellers and Visa is not being held by the defense, or even admin office. That usually means that it's going to be a heavy downstairs presence with lots of C4 to deny playing Tellers. That's exactly what it was for EG. DC read that, countered it by taking downstairs.
Well, we'll see if they can achieve that again here, because last time, yeah, they managed to catch a lot of the players kind of forced to rotate back with having taken the downstairs. EG should anticipate that a little bit better this time, the possibility of that. They also got the pulse here to be able to identify where the push is coming from. Hopefully DZ going to clear the top floor at least first. Make sure that force a lot of players to the middle floor or all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, so we're going to have to deal with castle barricades, which is pretty typical for this site.
They've got the tools to deal with those castle barricades in the Ashe and Zofia. We've been talking about it a little bit, but I want to bring to light again the fact that Ashe has seen her pick rate skyrocket recently in response to the meta we find ourselves in currently. You just need all of that soft destruction. You have to have it. Otherwise, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. And, well, Ashe is going to bring you just piles and piles of soft destruction. And with the Buck and Zofia combo, you really can't go wrong. I mean, they're even bringing breaching charges when available. It really does.
It's working good. It's working good.
Yeah, it is working very well for DZ. I think this is a great highlight of why they bring the soft destruction, but this isn't the only thing they're going to need to use it for as well. Because, like, you could use this all on the floor and then not have any for the Evil Eyes, and that's why you bring the Ashe and Zofia, just to be careful. So you can reserve those lifelines and the Ashe charges for the Evil Eyes and things like it.
Oh, I see one Evil right there. Oh, I thought he was going to cook it for the Evil Eye, but then he saw an opportunity, tried to go for the player, and then got neither.
Yeah, that's I guess a little bit wasteful. but better to go for it and not hit it than to... Well, you missed every shot you don't take is the point I'm trying to get to here.
Yeah. Well, the pressure on the site has forced the players out of tellers, at least, so now they have some control. They just need to take care of that evil eye, and then stop the pressure from below, maybe even fake out so some of those C4s come up. They do at least have a pulse to try and be more accurate with those.
Easy isn't a good spot to go for a plant. They don't seem to want to take downstairs this time. It might not work out for them very well. Hodden goes. Foolproof camera dealt with there. Site control. You got to be very careful about where you try to plant here because there is a pulse and there are C4s. There's 2 C4s in play for Evil Geniuses right now, but there's only 20 seconds here for DZ to plant. That's 1 player down, Spade C4. 1 C4 left in Young. 15 seconds. They need to go now. They need to get that plant immediately. It'll be attempt number 2 here for Hyper and coverage from his teammates. This is going to be a close one. Hyper gets 1. The C4 doesn't get the planter, but it does get Eclipse. Skies has to solo cover. He's going to get 1, but not the other. Mo should be able to clean this up, but he doesn't see his opponent. Will he? Yes, finally. Oh boy, that was scary. Mo will get it, and his triple kill for the round. Evil Geniuses take their 3rd defense.
Well, unfortunately, he didn't stick the plant when he could have and got it down a little bit sooner. It was nice he was able to be so well covered in that corner for a while. Almost not seen, but at the end of the day, just the C4s do their job. That's what you got to worry about. 2 kills from the C4s from below, and that's really all you needed to do. 1 on each planter, or at least the cover for the plant.
That was that was a frightening round there. You almost thought for a second that Modiga was going to die.
Yeah. I honestly kind of wonder if it's worth bringing Fuse for that site. If you can get away with just fusing to cover the plant so that C4s can't come up safely, if you could pull it off.
No, not right now because Fuse is he's kind of broken right now. His explosives tend to do more damage to the people above than...
That's right, because the shrapnel changes.
Yeah, the shrapnel changes made it so Fuse is basically unplayable if you want to do something like that. Like if you reverted Fuse back, then he would be really good for that. That would be a really great idea. So I agree with you. Like old Fuse, 100%. Yeah. But right now, if you put a Fuse charge on a floor and you stand above it, you're either going to be at like 40 HP in a little bit or you're going to die.
Yeah, maybe if that gets changed, we'll see that strategy be deployed, just at the very least, to push players away from that floor. So it makes it much harder to land the C4 the way you want to. I mean, it might not be a big deal. It may be easily countered, but I'd like to see some better ways to push those C4 players away or to stop them from being able to so easily C4 with a pulse.
You could do some strafe runs, I guess, as Fuse. Like if you go in, place the Fuse charge, then run out, detonate, then come back in. But the problem about that is that you're creating an extra buffer of time. Like that's just like, oh, well, okay, more time being spent now waiting to execute onto the site because your Fuse charge is detonating. And you know how it is with time right now.
Yeah.
Time's like solid gold for the attackers in this meta. So. But yeah, no, I think it could work though, if Fuse weren't broken.
Well, maybe we'll see it someday.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, EG actually ahead. Like you said, this is a good map for them, and they're showing it. They managed to, despite being the team that's kind of not doing so great in Pro League, they're actually managing to take one of the top NA teams, at least points-wise right now. Obviously, this is the last defense round, though. So once they switch to attack, as we saw with Coastline, things could flip around.
Yeah, we've had that happen a few times, and I think with what Lycan was saying there, where the reason SSC's been getting to that 7-5 and the reason that they've been flipping around these matches because they're constantly letting the other team have the starting side. Ooh, that was a close one for Eclipse. Very dangerous for Pellin. And maybe this is that kind of situation for DarkZero. Maybe they're gonna have to work back from a deficit because they didn't get the side that they wanted. But what we do know is they've got control of yellow stairs, and they're looking to get control of the top floor so that they can open up above and isolate the main lobby. Again, the reason why vertical control is so important on this map, or not on, well, it is on this map everywhere, actually, to be honest, but especially in the main lobby, is because there are no soft destructible walls in the main lobby, and so the site needs to be accessed directly or from above, or below. But it just means that you can lock up the site really easily if you control above.
Yeah, the below strategy we see, or we used to see occasionally, was a pulse C4 throw from the hatch, sort of in that little cubby. But we don't really see that very often anymore, unfortunately.
whenever we do see it, it's usually poorly executed and it misses. So yeah, it's very rare that you actually see the that strat work out very much. But main focus right now is on the execute onto the site. It seems to be a piano take based on the positioning of DZ right now, but they haven't committed to anything yet. Nice shot from Eclipse. Good reaction to NVK. And there's another one for Eclipse. As Modiga walks into the angle his teammate died on. I'm not sure what the thought process was there, but EG are falling apart at the seams. As Houghton adds to it with a kill of his own. Like 25 seconds left, but DZ have so much control and such man advantage that it shouldn't really matter how little time they've got. Young will get 1, but he's going to have to find 4 more in order to win this round, or at least survive for 20 seconds, and he will not be able to do that. DZ, clean up shop. Eclipse gets his 3rd, and, well, that didn't really look like a DZ round until EG started walking into DZ's line of sight, and then suddenly it was.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't expect that to be a win off of an Ash laying prone in the middle of yellow stairs and killing 2 people at the same angle that he could barely see through.
Yeah, it's I mean, well, first of all, props to Eclipse for landing his shots. You got to keep that in mind. That his not missing is a big part of that. But then the opportunities he was presented with, those are the really troubling bits.
Yeah.
Also, credit where credit's due, or not. Well, I guess playing devil's advocate more like it is really hard to kill someone when they're backwards prone and elevated above you, and I'll explain why. When you go backwards prone, that is to say your head is backwards, and that means your feet are forwards relative to the enemy. When you go backwards prone and your head is kind of tucked into your body, especially with like Rook and Doc, this is very noticeable, but it happens with everybody. Your head gets a little bit tucked towards your body and it becomes really hard to differentiate it from everything else. But what's worse is that Eclipse was backwards prone on an elevated location. He was on a staircase platform, which meant that his whole body was like head level relative to other people or higher, which meant that his head probably was barely visible, if at all visible, to the enemy. So, I know he's a 3-speed at all, but still, you're not landing a headshot is the point I'm trying to get at. And Eclipse,
yeah, you're hitting the feet at best.
Yeah, you're hitting the feet, you're hitting the legs, you're getting reduced damage. It's not an ideal situation.
Yeah. So I love those little bits of strategy though, where your positioning really matters in this game, because sometimes we talk about angles, but it's also positioning, where you go prone, how you go prone, things like that really do matter at the high level of play.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, if he had gone prone forward on that platform and he was forward prone where your head is in the front, he would have died. He would have died immediately. All the little things.
Well, interesting little thing here is they're going double ACOG brothers here. They 6-picked over to the Rook, so they've got the Rook and the Doc, and then a bulletproof camera from the Doc downstairs. So they're really looking to fight Garage, assuming it gets pushed. Obviously, they could go a different route here on this take because they are taking from above, unlike DZ. They're not as concerned with opening the Garage. They did bring at least the Thermite, though, to get that job done, but it's interesting. They even bring the Jackal for the roam clear, so they're very much interested in taking top down, which is very different. So the ACOG brothers may not get as much mileage. There's 2 stacked up at the bathroom, though, who might get pressured here pretty soon, but this is a bit of a slow rotate for that. He's MDK looking to probably go for a repel. Yep, he's going to look to try and get an angle in for the bathroom. Unfortunately for him, it's reinforced. He's not going to be able to do a whole lot. That's a little unsafe position. There we go. He's going to move. Just continue to put pressure on, but really just making a whole lot of noise. That's repel, and Modiga's possibly going to have to trade him here if he can't pull this off. He almost might want to go in with the short shotgun just for the picks.
Oh, the follow back's going to need to happen now. Will the Mozzie make it is the question. It looks like he did barely make it. Jackal tracked and with the wall opened right next to him, but both of Eclipse and Hyper will make it back to the site.
Problem is, Spades wasn't there for that soon enough. He really should have been there before it was getting opened and before the Jackal track, so that he could catch them on the rotate.
Yeah, there was also an opportunity to see them through the wall that they had actually opened up. MVK will get Houghton over by White Van, I believe. Garage panel also opened up.
A lot of gunfights here, but not a lot of kills at this point, and that's where it's really going to slow down for EG on the stake.
Oh, was that through the wall? I think that might have been through the wall. Down goes Skies. That's your smoke. That means it's going to be really hard to deny the plant. You're going to have to do it on a peek. And that's not going to happen as Young is going for the plant by Black Car, but nobody can stop him. There's no one in a position to do so. There'll be a retake post-plant on Consulate basement. You guys know how hard this one is to win. Trying to find the bodies. Is this an attempted ninja from Hyper? Well, it's not going to work. NVK will shut it down. A flawless round for Evil Geniuses and a beautiful execution onto the bottom floor.
So much better of an attack on Garage from EG versus what DZ were trying to do that was constantly stalling out. And, well, it really actually lost both times now looking back at it, both attacks from DZ on Garage failed. So definitely much better setup. Going with the double ACOGs, though, probably also wasn't the strategy. You saw, for example, playing without the mirror, right? So we saw the mirror being played for EG on that Garage hold, and it was much more effective in being able to hold security, whereas in this case we had Skies on smoke inside the security office just trying to play peeks at the holes, and you also had the ACOGs trying to do the same. It didn't work. That security office just ended up being a soft wall that Skies gets killed through. As obviously we set up to be able to throw a smoke towards the Black Car, but the soft wall without a way to look out of it, yeah, it didn't work out so great. So we are going to see them bring the mirror, but this time it's for a different bomb site. It looks like they're going Archives Tellers. I like the wooden barricades being set up to help delay any kind of attempted push from the Garage side. But no pulse in play, which is always a bummer. They are going to at least bring the Evil Eyes to be able to very likely at least have one, if not both, in sight. There's one being set up right now by Skies. We got a little bit of the floor opened as well. But I don't know. I feel like the way that EG was set up for it was a little bit better with the pulse and just... you get a lot more accurate intel with that because they are going to clear these Evil Eyes. You know they're bringing some utility to do so. They also are going to have 2 sets of smokes. So once those Evil Eyes are down, there's not going to be anything to see through. And without a pulse, you have no way to really look through that smoke because there's no bulletproof camera, I don't believe, being brought either. So it's really dependent on those Evil Eyes to make this work and just hopefully lucky C4s.
See, is there a bulletproof camera being brought? We have the ability to check for the utility of the teams. It's a really cool new feature. I'm a huge fan. And no, there's not. Look at that. So, yeah, the information is definitely going to be very relevant for DZ, but it's also going to be relevant, of course, those kills, and Hyper will get the first one. That lead-off kill is going to set the pace for this in all likelihood. EG have gotten control of above. They can start opening up. We've got a lot of tools to do so. Shotgun on Necrox, shotgun on Modiga, breaching charge on Spades probably. Yeah, and Young with the exothermic to open up the drop down. So all the tools that you'd really need to open up all the flanks, all the rotations, everything. And they're going to start doing that, of course, with plenty of time left in the round. I mean, they're a man down, which is not great, but ultimately they could still make this happen. But you know what?
At least it's they have redundant smokes as well, so.
That's true, yeah. And I was about to say, what could work is, what about smoking through the holes that they make for the C4 and Tellers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe, I mean, it's not going to kill them, it's not going to push them out, but it'll make it so they can't see. Because if you stand in the smoke, you cannot see a thing. It's actually really crazy annoying.
They also didn't bring a Jaeger, so they've got nothing to stop those from being thrown down.
Oh, that's true, yeah, no Jaeger, no Wamai. That's an interesting decision with no Thatcher in play. I mean, you may as well try to protect your Evil Eyes, right?
Yeah.
I guess they just figured there's going to be enough... I guess they figured there's going to be enough utility brought by the attack to clear out the ADSs every time, and they're right. As it's almost always the case.
I mean, to be fair, I don't really like anything about DZ's operator lineup and setup. It's just everything about it feels like EG get a free pass. But to be fair, Hyper won his gunfight, and EG have yet to find a kill of their own, and so maybe it doesn't come down to the gadgets so much as the guns this round.
Pro tip: if you kill the entire enemy team, you win the round, assuming the diffuser hasn't been planted. Now, Evil Genius is going in for the plant. Young will go into the same corner that was tempted last time by DZ. There's full coverage here for EG. They're just peeking the holes. They're just going for the fights. The C4 comes out, and it misses. Spades also downs Mint, but Young stopped planting. Not sure what happened there. We didn't quite see it. Might have been something that stopped him from planting outright, but he didn't get it down. And now he's going to be killed by Hyper, who gets a quad kill. He's going for the ace, and he might be able to get it too. The Vault-in will see the enemy, but not land the shot. It doesn't matter, though. Wait, it does! Hyper with the trade to end the round, and an ace. A beautiful round from him. DZ will take it. I have no idea what happened with Young there. But he was just a few seconds away from planting. Maybe the desk got destroyed?
I'm telling you, the gadget wise, they had nothing on DZ, but I guess they had Hyper go crazy. The funny thing is, Hyper actually was at like 25 HP for 4 of those kills.
True, yeah. I mean, that's why he traded out for the last one.
Yeah, absolutely. But oh man, I do wonder if the desk being destroyed or something like that might have stopped Young from the plant, because really Young should have had that plant down.
I have no idea why. I really want to ask what happened there, because he was safe. He was planting before went off. He didn't die or anything. I mean, he was still there.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't think DZ won that round so much as EG through that round just lining up for Hyper in the doorway and not really having any way to contest that.
There was 2 things. There was one, the lineup, yeah, and then there was the other, which was Young didn't get that plant down, and I don't know what happened. I can't imagine he stopped planting deliberately. I can't imagine. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because it looked like he was kind of fiddling to try and plant again.
Yeah, and then he got off the desk. He's like, heck this, I can't plant on the desk.
Yeah.
He dropped down, started trying to plant on the floor. But that right there was really what sealed up the round and sealed EG's fate.
I think that's something worth testing in custom as well, to see if that desk does get destroyed, because that does seem like a good counter to that corner, because we saw how effective that corner almost was from one of DZ's plants.
Yeah, I mean, it is a wooden desk. I imagine you can probably break it. I'll you know what, I'm gonna go test that actually right now.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to know, just because, like, it does seem like an ideal place to go. Obviously, you had to melee a few pieces of debris to get them out of the way to get in that plant spot. But if it is destroyable, that might be a good target for a C4. Yeah, maybe it doesn't kill the person planting, but it takes them off the plant, which is ultimately the goal, right? To stop the plant from happening, so.
Of course. In this round, the goal for Evil Geniuses is going to be clearing out the top floor and the middle floor. Oh, yeah. I want to make note of the fact that was a really well attempted round from Evil Geniuses, despite them not.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that their confidence to make the play that they did, you gotta love seeing that stuff.
Yeah, they really just, all they needed to do was stop Hyper from being able to get in. I'm not sure where he rotated up, but possibly from the spiral. But that's all they needed to have done, was just stop Hyper, and they would have won that round.
So this is a bathroom roam here for DZ, and that's known to Evil Geniuses. Hyper's trying to linger. He's got the over the stalls angle. It's not a very safe angle, but he will get 1 kill off of it. Unexpected, it seems. In a second, as he pre-fires into spades. Big kills there for Hyper. And Evil Geniuses, 2 men down because of Hyper's efforts. But I mean, an ace in the last round, a 2K in this round. Hyper's on an absolute tear. The man needs to be stopped. Evil Geniuses need to be allowed to participate. Just not fun to watch anymore. You know what, Hyper? They have families too.
Right. I mean, that's 7 kills in a row from him. So,
yeah,
and he's still alive at full health.
I mean, well, he did die in the last round, to be fair. That was a trade.
True.
Keep in mind. Necrox could actually see an angle on the pipes and get a kill right now. Oh, no, correction. There's a shield in the way. I was wrong. So he might be able to get that kill later. Yeah, that's a really cool shield.
I feel like that shield was put there partially for that use, but also more so to be able to fight, because pipes is such an essential position in this defense.
It is essential, and yeah, if you lose control of bathroom, it's almost, when it's really difficult to hold. If you lose control of bathroom, or if you lose control of piano, and that shield will allow you to keep playing there. Yeah, that's not going to work.
I think that was a little bit of a misthrow on the tracks, the first one.
Yeah. The smokes are being caught by the ADS. Second one will land. That's going to nullify the shield position. Probably Hotten's likely can't see anything, but it might not matter, because there's still a lot of other players for DZ still alive, and he will get finished off by Modiga, who peeks the shield. Skies will refrag it though. Now it's all down to Necrox as Hyper gets his 3rd kill, and there's a 4th for Hyper. An ace and then a 4K. Leave them alone. Stop bullying them. It's not fair.
I mean, do they even need the other 4 players at this point? Are they just setting up for Hyper the distractions? Because, man, and this is the guy who came off of bathroom as well, getting 2 kills in a situation where that is often a suicide play. Like, he was just playing for time, yet he gets a quad out of it.
Yeah, a really impressive round there from Hyper, which was following another really impressive round. I guess we're just going to keep getting a lot of those.
Yeah.
As he's been putting up some pretty impressive play.
he's a big reason why DZ are not losing right now. Big time. I mean, it would be 6-3 right now without him. Yeah,
15 kills or something like that.
He's going insane. I mean, it's like almost like you heard me talking about him kind of being a little more struggling lately, and he just decided, nope.
Okay, it's 14, so a little bit of an overestimation there. But yeah, he has been playing really well today, and you know it's a strong contrast with like Skies and Mint, for example, who don't have any kills. But then Skies, remember last time DZ played? Skies dropped like what 20 kills or something like that.
Yeah, he was by far the best rated player that match.
Yeah, and this is one of the beauties, or one of the little things with DZ is that they've got such a depth in their roster that if somebody else isn't fragging, then it's going to be a totally different person the next day or the next day. And today it happens to be Hyper. We're going to the middle floor here for DZ. We'll see how they defend this one.
Interesting castle barricade setups. They've even got one on the piano window. They're just really kind of setting up to deny at least a lot of angles early on, so they can hold that map control a little bit longer. It's like you said, getting that top floor control very important, but also you don't want an easy take on piano. You want to make sure that piano itself can hold for a while with hot and being able to stay in the bathroom. And this guy's actually playing a Pulse off in Visa Tellers.
Yeah, Pulse can be really good on Consulate. If you're looking directly up, you can see someone on the top floor from the bottom floor. And the same thing for, you know, the other direction. So there's a lot of potential for information. And by the way, I did just test it. You can actually destroy the desk, but if you do destroy the desk, then there's actually kind of like a better plant spot. So yeah, it's like you can get really safe and snug in the corner. It'd probably be smart to destroy it with a shotgun, but I'm not going to test that right now. Anyway, with an explosive, the desk will just disappear.
Enemy located. Second.
So,
There we go, real-time learning here with kicks.
I mean, I may as well, right? So the clear into the top floor is being stopped right now, as there is a roam inside of meeting for DarkZero. They're trying their best to hold on to the upstairs. I mean, Eclipse is getting stunned into oblivion. He's still got the C4 though, still ready to try and fight back. And uh-oh.
Or not.
Well, the entry working out great for Evil Geniuses. They'll get the kill onto Eclipse, and that's one C4 gone. No HP lost. A beautiful kill, and EG find themselves in control of this round, as well as part of the top floor.
Straight up shooting him off the game, but he's back all right.
Hey.
Unfortunately for him, not till next round.
Yeah, so that's like just one step, I guess, done for free for Evil Geniuses, but it's not gonna...
Wait, was he playing Mozzie? Because there was a post return of Eclipse Mozzie capture, so he still did something.
Yeah, post-mortem. Eclipse is assisting in this round. Really great job pre-placing his pests there. NVK has been down, so Hyper has brought it back. Of course it's going to be Hyper. He'll get back into the building as well. Nice and safe. Oh, Mint hasn't been droned out. They might not know.
I was going to say, I think that's the Mozzie one, but no, Mozzie can't be controlling as he's dead, so
yeah,
they really just missed that.
They don't know. They haven't spotted Mint yet, who has a huge opportunity to make a play right now. He's being patient, though. There's 30 seconds left. Maybe they do know? It seems they're aware. Yeah, they're aware, and Young will get the kill. Where did that call come from? That is so strange, but there goes Mint. So his patience not paying off.
They were baiting him, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe they were just waiting to get the kill. They're like, oh, we're going to pretend like I don't see this guy. It's possible, but with only 12 seconds left, it's going to have to be a rush from Evil Geniuses. The attempted plant from Young. Hyper gets another kill. That's his second in the round. He hasn't been shut down yet. He finally will be by Necrox. Houghton trying to be patient, trying to deny the plant. And he's not going to do it. Oh, no. The C4's not going to hit it either. It's too far. Wait, it's not too far. The down on the planter. And DarkZero gets it. By just, what, inches, possibly? Oh my word.
What a comeback run here from DarkZero after, I mean, not necessarily a comeback, but it was 3-3 in the half, right? So they were losing as much as they were winning. Now all of a sudden they're just mostly winning.
So the LMG there from the Maestro must have done just barely enough damage to allow the absolute far reaches of a C4 to just touch the Habana.
It's that new shrapnel system.
Yeah, the new shrapnel system, I guess, and scathe her enough to down her. That is crazy. I cannot believe that C4 landed. It was so far.
Yeah. I mean, it was another good round for Hyper as well, getting a couple kills before he got downed.
Yeah, he's definitely a big saving grace there for his team, and now he has hit that 16 kills mark, so Thank you, Hyper. I wasn't wrong in the end. I was just too early,
Preemptive.
premature,
Yeah.
preemptive. Well, that was a round that EG should have won. I think we can safely say that.
There's been a couple of those now.
Yeah. Keep in mind that there is a place where you can plant in that bomb site that is not exposed to C4 from below. That's the stage area.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about the other bomb site. I'm talking about the. Oh, it doesn't matter.
We will see that Des possibly factor in this round, though.
Who knows? Yeah, it's been a big plant spot for both of these teams so far. Again, yeah, you can destroy it fully with an explosive.
I'm sure they're going to be aware of that this round, though, after what happened last time.
Yeah, probably. I think that there's probably some, and I didn't test this bit, but there's probably, it's probably a good idea to go in with a shotgun and maybe hollow it out to make it like really difficult to get on top of. But I didn't test if that would break it or if that would just get rid of the wood bit. So I confess I kind of just used the C4 and I was like, oh yeah, it completely disappears.
Deleted.
Yep.
It was interesting 6-picks as well this round because you had the 6-pick to the castle and then NVK 6-pick to the sledge, the counter to the castle.
Yeah, I mean, well, sometimes it just works out that way.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just get lucky. You're like, oh yeah, it turns out we needed a sledge. Fantastic. Here we are.
Yeah. It's just extra grenades. I mean, they know they don't bring a Jaeger on this site. So the 6-pick over to an operator with more grenades was a good idea.
I just can't get over the fact that they're not bringing the Jaeger too. That's so weird. We saw Jaeger in the last round, but here now, nope. What we will see though is Young getting the lead off kill. Down goes the Clips. But it's okay for DZ because Hyper's still alive.
Yeah, I would hope they'd be a little more prepared for Hyper's rush up this time. Could be a very different round.
Well, I guess we'll see. The counter utility operators in the Mozzie and the Mute are going to be high value in this situation because the information needs to be cut away for EG in order for DZ to have a chance. Interesting setup right now. EG hasn't really chipped away at the defense much yet. More work needs to be done.
Yeah, halfway through the round, and they're mostly just setting up to keep the map control that they have and open things up, but they're not really getting a ton out of it yet. They need to make sure, first off, to clear those evil eyes so that when, they realize they've got 20 seconds left, they can actually go for a plant. That's not the way to do it.
No. no,
It's
no, it's
deafening
not.
all of us.
And that would be much easier. Oh, no!
Oh, no, this hole!
Could you imagine if he had cooked that?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, a little bit of struggle on Evil Geniuses to manage their utility. I'm sure they'll get the hang of it at some point, and they'll get that Evil Eye, though. Give him some time. Give him some time. C4 pre-placed. Yeah, it is match point. C4 pre-placed, and down goes Spades. Young is attempting a plant. It doesn't seem like there's anyone to stop it. The cover from main hallway is working great for NVK, and now it's a post plant for DZ. They weren't aware that the plant was even going down. You can see them scrambling to reposition and take control, but it's not going to happen. C4's missing left and right. DZ cutting off rotation on the main door. All three of them now going to try and rush up Visa stairs. There is no hope for DZ in this round, realistically speaking, unless EG somehow manages to throw this one away. But with only 20 seconds left in this post plant, this should be a really easy lockout. Down goes MVK. They have to take the site. That's the difficult bit. They're trying to combat crawl in, but there's only a few seconds. They have to be on it now, and there's no time left. A nice try from DarkZero, but nothing matters at this point. So, Evil Geniuses controlling the site, getting enough kills to alleviate pressure, and getting a plant under DZ's noses. Or I guess above their noses. But that doesn't really make sense.
I love the combat crawl coming in, though. It almost got away with it. Just didn't have manpower advantage to make that work. Had it been a 1v2 with advantage to the defenders there, I think they could have pulled that off. But yeah, nice try. At the end of the day, though, sneaking in the plant, that was how it should have gone down the previous time. This time, at least Hyper was dead earlier on, so they were able to make sure that plant stuck. But boy, you might want to consider bringing a pulse in the future, DZ.
Yeah, they clearly needed some more information in that round, and I think the Evil Eye was dealt with eventually by Evil Geniuses, despite the struggles they had in actually getting to that, to that point where it wasn't a problem anymore. So because the Evil Eye was dealt with, I assume, the lack of information was crippling. So we'll go to the basement. We'll see what DZ can do here.
Well, I imagine this is going to be one of those long days. We've got a 7-5. Now we've got another one going the distance, either 7-5 or 6-6. So it's, yeah, it's going to be one of those close match days. It's funny, too, because you were just highlighting in the pre-match stuff about how it was technically one-sided matches in theory because of the top teams going against the bottom teams. It's not really looking that way in the matches, though.
Yeah, this whole day is the top half of North America against the bottom half of the North America. And we've played every single round so far. But we're only 2 matches in.
Day.
Yeah,
True.
We're only 2 matches in, and SSG did win their match, so the expectations are still being met. If DZ wins this match here, then that we continue with that trend. I mean, yeah, it goes all the way, but expectations are still met. So, I mean, we're not to the point yet where we can say as an authority one way or another, but you know, there's only 2 minutes 40 seconds left till we are at that point.
Definitely slow going here as they still have yet to take admin. They're finally gonna sweep on in. Got some control. They do go for this top-down take though on their attacks here. It worked out very well for them last time on the garage attack. So assuming they can, you know, speed things up a little bit here, I think it's pretty doable again. But now with DarkZero, of course, they're going to know that that's how the take goes and be a little more prepared for it. They can just play Turtle and force EG to spend a lot of time clearing the top 2 floors, and then at really very little cost to the defenders.
That's been a Mozzie drone. And that's slowing down the take quite a lot. When you just get one of those drones absorbs, that takes like, what, 15, 20 extra seconds for EG to adjust to? And they have to use a different drone as well. At some point, you stop having extra drones to use in those situations, and you stop having time. Ooh, that hurt. Odiga put down to low HP, but a slightly delayed reaction there on the C4 detonation will result in no kill.
Oh, still going to slow them down a little bit. Already half the round burned, and they're still working on this top floor down control vertically. So, looking good for the defense.
My question is, have they gotten the garage open? Because we're hitting the last minute now. If the garage isn't open, this is going to be a very difficult take, even if the attack manages to get all of the top floor. Hodden hits the C4 onto NVK, and that's going to help Eclipse, who is trying to stay alive in bathroom. He's on low HP. He's just trying to linger. He'll fall back, actually, as Young comes in to thermite the bathroom wall. But has he thermited the garage wall? No.
No, what?
Necrox will get Eclipse in the back hallway as he peeks down Banana. So back to even man count. The attack has vertical control. Young is going to be able to open up the garage. This is going to be a very close one, ladies and gentlemen. But it could still go the way of Evil Geniuses, because DZ has been pushed really far back from the garage, and they might not even know this gets opened. They must hear it, but will they react to it is the question. Right now, it's going to be on the Evil Eyes. Mint will be the one reacting immediately. He's trying to deny the push in through the garage, but there's only one attacker outside a garage. And I believe the Fuser is outside a garage in Young's hands, but I'm not 100% sure. What we do know is that there's plenty of counter utility. Nice shot there from Necrox to get a second kill, and it's a flurry of kills for both teams. The rush in through Security Hall will be stopped by Skies. He'll get his second. Necrox the third. Mint in a 1v1 as Necrox is down. Young will get the plant, but lose the fight! And Mint will clutch it up big. He'll be able to clean up the last kill, and DZ will take their 3 points from this match.
Well, again, like you said, it's coming down to close games every time, every round played, but then the expected winners are still winning. So it's more like the underdogs are putting up a great fight today rather than any kind of upsets.
Yeah, that was a big, I gotta say, that was a big round for Mint, saving that in the end. Big round for Skies, everyone on DZ stepping up when it mattered the most. Impressive performance. Nice try, though, to Evil Geniuses. You know what, I feel like we've been saying this a lot lately. Evil Geniuses are getting better. At least that's the way it seems from an outside perspective. They're starting to put up much more impressive, much more convincing results. And you love to see it. At the same time, though, it still was a win for DZ. Hyper dropping 17 kills.
Yeah, and thankfully for his sake, it wasn't in a tie or a losing match, so they managed to just barely pull it out in the end there, thanks to Mint's play. But without Hyper's big plays, that would have been an EG win. Just because a couple of those rounds really depended on big plays from him.
I agree. I think EG would have been able to take that one. And yeah, good job to Hyper for showing up for his team. And it wasn't just him. I mean, there were some key moments, of course, where we had other people contributing important things to get the win, whether it's the C4 from below or just getting 1 or 2 kills that stops an absolute bull rush from Evil Geniuses. There was a lot of different moments through that could be rounds that could be attributed to other players, but Hyper put up the big kills through the match and set up the backbone for that team to take the win. And you got to be impressed by it.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, DZ put up some really weird operator compositions on defense that I found a little lacking in a lot of ways, and they definitely struggled on some of those defensive wins, I think partially because of that, whereas EG just kind of brought the utility that you need. They didn't really bring anything crazy. I did like the redundant smokes that they had the one time, because they did lose the Jackal early, so they had that to help. But overall, I would like to see DZ play a little bit more utility smart defenses in the future, not rely so much on Hyper just going insane, or meant to be able to clutch it out with the Alda. But at the end of the day, a win is a win, right?
A win is a win, and yeah, I think that's always been, if we look at the DZ philosophy, I think that's always kind of been their focus when it comes to these kinds of matches. This is, and I'll talk to this about them when we get to the interview, this is actually the first win that DZ has gotten in the second half of this season. And, to be fair to them, I mean, that's with some really difficult matches being the ones that they actually ended up losing. But, it's not been the picture-perfect second half of the season that we expected to see from DZ, as, coming off the first half of the season, they were looking absolutely unstoppable. And prior to this match, they found themselves in 4th place because Space Station won their match earlier. They won, further back too. Space Station's been on that roll. DarkZero was in second not too long ago. Now they're starting to, have a struggle to keep there, and they'll put themselves at 20 points after that win, up from 17. And they're starting to close in, I guess, on that top. Well, they've got top 3 now, but I mean, they aren't even guaranteed to have that locked in yet, because Reciprocity hasn't played today, and they were at the same point at the beginning of the day. So who knows with that one? But we've got the interview ready, so we're gonna jump into an interview with DarkZero and hear what they have to say. Hey, Houghton, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you, Kix?
I am well, thanks for asking. So, as I was just talking about, this is DZ's first win for the second half of the season. Now, to be fair, that is including, a match against TSM, a match against SSG. Those are some tough ones. But this is the first time you guys have managed to take home 3 points. Do you want to walk us through what's been going on after the second half of the season started up? That's where we are, or why we are where we are.
Well, after Invite, we finished top 5, I believe, top 6.
Mm-hmm.
To us, that really doesn't mean nothing. Or top 5, it's basically not going to us. We want to win. If we don't win, then we feel like something needs to change. So right now, we currently starting at the start of the season, we talked about what we wanted to do in the long term, or for the long term, and we came to the conclusion that we wanted to try Kyle or Mint on hard support, and then me on the more flex roles.
You are cutting out every other word. I'm not hearing everything that you're saying.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong.
Okay, it sounds like it's a little bit better now. I think your microphone was just a little far away from your face. So you were adjusting your roles, is what you were saying.
Yeah, we decided to put Kyle on more of the hard support, and then hard breach, and then me back onto the flex roles, what I used to play. So we've been working out the kinks with that. But honestly, that's no excuse. We're taking practice, one day at a time, and as long as we get better in practice and we feel like we're improving, then I think we're good.
All right, so next question is the way that you guys were defending on some sites. You were bringing, for example, on the basement, you decided not to bring Jaeger. So right now we're in a meta where Jaeger Wamai comboing with a lot of other operators creates this kind of molasses attack, if you will. The 20-second meta, as it's dubbed. And the way that you guys played without the Jaeger was a little bit different. And I'm curious behind the thought process for that, not bringing any anti-throwable, anti-nade operators.
Well, for their attack specifically, mainly for the garage, they were full clearing the map anyways. So we feel like, like a Mozzie or a Mew can stop their drones and waste time where they're actually going to be clearing, instead of just them only hitting the garage.
Okay, gotcha. So it just came down to where you expected and how you expected them to attack. I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with all those changes coming in, do you think that you've hit a point now where you're starting to it's starting to get much smoother?
I think so. Obviously there's still some things that need working out. Everyone can see that, but practice has been really good lately, and I think we're constantly improving.
That's good. Good to hear. Well, is there anything that you want to say to the stream and all the people watching before we end the interview?
I just want to say thanks to all our fans. We've a little bit of a rough patch right now, but thanks for everyone that's sticking with us, and we appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Houghton, and GG's. I'll catch you later.
Thank you. Have a good one, Kicks.